why we don't see very many demos anymore?
Because the games on launch day are demos. Why?
It's actually because
I probably
figured
know
out
the
that
answer,
demos
it's
don't
just
actually help a game's sales.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Yeah.
There's only a few possible outcomes. Either the person likes, like, the ideal one is the person likes the gameplay and will then go on to purchase the full game, right?
Yeah.
But it could also be the person likes the gameplay. The demo is enough for them, and they've experienced it now, and that's cool, and they had their fun.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're done. Other one is they don't like the gameplay, so they don't buy the game.
Right. And I mean,
basically, I think it was just that, like, they explained where it was just mathematically speaking, there were far more outcomes that led to decreased sales than increased sales.
But I mean, it kind of turned out the same way with the idea of review copies of a game too, because like now, if a publisher or whatever put a team under time pressure or something, like they don't even release review copies to magazines.
You know what I find the most scummy fucking thing? Lately, they did it with the most recent Call of Duty, I think.
Which one is that?
They launched, no microtransactions, no cash shop, no nothing.
Right.
Right? They did that at launch, and then they waited 2 months. And then they pushed out an update with that stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that all the reviews are already out.
Yep.
So that no one can mention that stuff during the reviews because it's not in the game.
Because it wasn't in the base game,
Yep.
but then they add an update that does it. That is shitty. I mean, it's genius and clever, but it's shitty.
And so it's basically, they are... It's basically review manipulation, Because
Yeah.
unless every platform is willing to be like, so we'll finish reviewing this game in 2 months when they release the cash shop,
I mean,
see how shitty it is, then, like, IGN does that sometimes. They'll update a review. But all that really matters is the Metacritic on launch now, right? So,
yeah. But I guess... But how can they prevent that, though? Because you can't just say, like, a game can only be what it is on launch, because otherwise the reviews are unfair, because there are plenty of games that have actually fixed major issues post-launch and become better for it.
Do you know what the gap between Warframe's launch reviews and when everyone decided to start updating the reviews in 2018? It was the 7 years that it existed.
Oh.
They reviewed it in 2011, and it got D's and C's.
Okay.
And then it grew for 7 years, and people didn't update their reviews or create new reviews until 2018 or so.
Right. So, like, with that in mind...
When there was a big wave of interest because they started introducing open world environments. So.
Yeah. With that in mind, though, like, if you're reviewing a game, you can't just, like... You can't future-proof it, and you can't say, I'll review this again for whatever major update, because that just doesn't work in practice. That's a lot of work to do on games that have already been released.
Like, you can't just constantly be coming back to stuff.
Yeah, and this is an issue that's unique to our current method of distributing games and updates for games. Because, back when it was, PlayStation 1, there was no online connectivity or anything. You couldn't download a patch. You couldn't buy DLC for a game.
So your game had to be absolutely complete on launch.
Yep.
Now, in some ways, of course, the current way of doing things has opened up really cool new, options for developers, because the ability to update people's games is a huge boon. It's like...
Yeah, without that, Hearthstone couldn't exist.
Like, entirely, yeah. So it certainly has, benefited games in several major ways, but I think it's also led to a certain amount of complacency.
Yeah.
Which, I get. Like, devs are real people and everything. But,
yeah.
like, I think
I sure am.
I talked about it before, I think, where, I had seen a game developers conference talk about how the Pokemon games were coded.
Right.
And how they're basically just, like, fucking geniuses and, like, developed methods that devs used for decades later in order to optimize their games because they had to use every single ounce of RAM and memory that they had. Like, it was no joke. And it had to work every time. And there had to be no bugs because there is no fixing this. And once it goes live, you know?
And, of course, that didn't really work out with the first-generation games because there are tons of bugs.
There are? I remember that. I remember playing...
With first-gen? There's a move, I believe it's Sword Stance, but I don't remember. It's supposed to increase your critical rate.
Mm-hmm.
That decreases it instead.
Whoops.
Psychic types... I believe Psychic types were supposed to be weak to Ghost type or something like that, and they just forgot to program that in. There was... something else. Oh yeah, I saw a video online that it's possible if you do a Ditto-only run, you can actually lock yourself out of the game from just, like, weird memory manipulation that happens if you, like, run out of transform uses in a certain situation.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of things. The catch rate for Great Balls is sometimes better than the catch rate of Ultra Balls in certain situations, when that shouldn't be the case. There's so much other stuff, but it's just not stuff that, like, a casual player of it would find.
Well,
it's stuff that would only come out, like, if you dedicated your time to it and just ran into these random things happening.
Well, right, exactly.
Then had to make sense of it all.
Like, for me, I think the first one I actually played was the one where I could take Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil is second gen, so it's gold, silver.
I got gold, silver, and diamond, right? Because diamond's the one I have.
Diamond is gen 4.
Crystal.
Crystal.
There you go. Yeah, it's the one that had gold and silver.
Yeah.
Merged. So
sort
you
of.
Just get all the Pokemon.
You can't.
What?
There's still Pokemon in Crystal you can't get.
I thought that was the point of the third ones, is that there were two versions where you couldn't get everything, and one version had the stuff you needed, so you had to have friends, but then Crystal comes out so you can just get everything.
I don't think so.
Is it a trifecta instead of a duality?
Yeah, but, like, the third version is usually, like...
It comes out later, though, doesn't it? Third version always comes out later.
Gonna look this up, actually. Version differences between gold, silver, and crystal. Features in crystal, you can be a girl, of course. Just like you've always wanted. Location story changes. Absent Pokemon and Pokemon Crystal. Props to IGN for this. The same Pokemon Obtainable in Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Gold are also capturable in Pokemon Crystal, except for the following. Vulpix, and therefore Ninetales. Mankey, and therefore Primate. Mareep, and therefore Flaffy. Ampharos.
No wonder I've never played with a Mareep.
Giraffarig, Remoraid, Octillery. Yeah, I remember I had Mareep when I was going through Gold.
I've never seen a Mareep. Yeah.
Yep.
Now that I think about it. Okay.
You can get both Lugia and Ho-Oh. I think you can get both Lugia and Ho-Oh in Crystal, but Ho-Oh will only show up after you have all three of the other legendaries captured.
Mm.
Yeah. Seems that way. Kind of reading it right now.
It's too bad about what happened to Mareep.
We mourn the sheep war.
I I just mean it getting completely overtaken by Wooloo.
I mean, I don't think it will, because, like...
No, listen.
Wooloo's normal type, right?
Yeah, but Mareep never had a following like this. I'm talking
Mareep existed in an era when we didn't have the level of internet that we now. It couldn't have had that sort of following.
I know, but, like, it's now been replaced. It was the sheep Pokemon. Now it's definitely not the sheep Pokemon anymore. Wooloo is the sheep Pokemon now. Like, before anyone thinks about Mareep, when you say sheep Pokemon, people are going to think of Wooloo now, not Mareep.
Alright, down in the comments, tell us what your sheep Pokemon is. Come up with a new sheep Pokemon and tell it to us. We're gonna...
Have you seen the Pokerap?
We're gonna ROM hack Crystal to be entirely sheep Pokemon. Just you wait.
I'm definitely not dedicating time to figuring out how to ROM hack.
I'm not either. I'm just gonna hope that someone else does it instead.
Okay.
But don't listen to that sentence until you've commented about the sheep Pokemon.
Okay, where did the fucking...
The what? Ketchup? No, you've got ketchup.
Nick
Beer?
stole some of my fucking alcohol. Fuck!
You can drink
You can't
Coca-Cola.
just do that.
I mean...
There was a box of like 3 or 4 more of those hard seltzers from last night, and they're just gone.
Wow.
Well, someone moved them up to the top shelf over here, upstairs.
Oh, we're gonna find out. Hello, everyone. Matt has now exited the room. You are alone here with me. And what I have to say to you is absolutely nothing. I was completely unprepared for this eventuality. That's all I got. See you guys for the episode.